The Mora knife. These are out of Sweden, and they are very popular with outdoorsmen, with bushcrafters, with survivalists, mainly because they're just almost indestructible, but they're very reasonable. They've been around for a long time, and they're pretty cool. In fact, I have a number of these in different packs. They come in all different shapes, sizes, and colors. One of the things we're going to do today, though, is we're going to take one of their carbon steel models, and we're going to put this really nice patina on here. Now obviously this patina is already on it. This was a pretty shiny blade before, but not only does it look kind of cool, it definitely helps with rust and corrosion and things that can happen to this knife, especially if you're using it in the field. And it's kind of a natural process that it will turn to anyway after a lot of use, but this just gives you that added protection. Now one of the problems with the Mora knife is typically the spine is curved, doesn't have a straight edge, a 90-degree edge, so we're going to cut that. We're going to just bring this tip down just a touch because these are prone to break, and then of course the patina. Now I picked this one up at Going Gear last fall. He had a number of different styles. In fact, he has over 40 on his website, and you can go to goinggear.com. Plus, you know, he gives us 10% suits discount, which makes it nice. But there's a lot of different choices. Typically they run around the $19 range. There's some that are cheaper. There's some that are more expensive. But today we're just going to do the oxidization on the blade, put the finish on the blade, and we're going to first grind this tip off, now, or the top spine. Now one of the things about the spine, if you do grind this off, you definitely need to treat it. It has a coating on here to help protect the carbon steel, but once you cut through that, this is going to be a lot more prone to rust and corrode. A lot of people also take the tip and ground it down because this tip is prone to break at times. Because the edge is rounded, it's just not going to get that, it just rolls off. So putting an edge or a 90-degree edge on this is really going to make a big difference. Now we can do this a number of ways. Of course, I'm going to just use a standard file just because that's what everybody has. At least you should have a file. You can do it with a Dremel tool or you could do it with a grinder. But we just want to get that just ground down to make it a 90-degree angle. Now I'm not going to take too much down because I do want a tip, but I just want it to have a little bit of some strength there at the end. We have a little Vaseline and cotton balls. We're definitely getting spark. There we go. And we're good to go. Okay, now we got a little residue from the fire steel. I'm going to take one of my knife erasers, just kind of clean it up. You could do this with a little bit of oil, but we're going to need to degrease this anyway, so we'll just clean it up. And we've got a little isopropyl alcohol to clean up the blade. Have some apple cider vinegar. Need a glass to pour in the apple cider vinegar once we heat it up. We're also going to use a little clamp. Take a little bit of alcohol and put it on something that you can use and just wipe it down, degrease it, and we're just going to let it dry. Now take your clamp and put it on your knife, and then we're just going to set it here in the glass. So we mainly want to know how much vinegar we need to pour in, and what we want to do is go ahead and fill it up and cover the metal. You can get the handle, it won't hurt it. Now one of the things about it, once you put it, we're going to heat this up and bring it to a boil, and when we do, we're going to lose a little bit of this. So once we pour it in the pan, we're going to want to add a little bit of vinegar just for extra good measure. So now we're going to take it, we're going to dump it in our little saucepan, and we're going to add a little extra. Now we're going to bring this to a boil. Okay, we're going to pour this vinegar in. And we're going to drop the knife in and we're going to let it sit. It was boiling pretty good when I pulled the pan off. Now here you can see the action of the vinegar with the knife. I mean, it is really going, and a lot of that has to do with the extra heat. I think that accelerates the vinegar with the blade being hot as well. We're going to let this sit for just a little bit, and then we're going to pull it out and kind of clean it up. Now, I've only been going for a minute and a half. We're just going to kind of take a look. You can already see the oxidization starting to turn that gray, but we're going to leave it in there. Okay, I've left this in here for probably about 10 minutes. And it's still reacting, so we're going to go ahead and take it out. You can see that gray, man, that looks good. So we're going to wipe this down. I'm going to go ahead and release my clamp. Some of this is going to be on the surface. That'll allow us to go back. We're going to do it again. Be careful not to cut yourself because this blade is sharp. I'm going to go ahead and heat up our vinegar solution again, and we're going to dip it again. Okay, here we have the solution again. I'm going to pull the knife out and we pour it. Boiling very good. Set the knife in here. One thing you want to be careful of, that tip is setting up onto the glass, or any part of the knife sitting on the glass. It will not oxidize as fast. Just keep that in mind. We're just going to let that sit in there for about 10 minutes if I can. As long as those bubbles are pretty active, we're going to let it roll. Okay, we've had it in there a few minutes. Let's just go ahead and take a peek. Yeah, that's looking really good. Nice and dark. But we're going to keep going because there's a lot of action still happening. Still going. Not quite as fast as it was, but I'm just too curious to take a look. Man, that's getting dark. We're going to remove our clamp. We're going to wipe it down. Yeah, a lot less of the oxidization is coming off this time. Top of that blade's really important since we did that work on it. Okay, we're going to heat that vinegar back up one more time, and then we'll finish it up. Pour in the vinegar. Well, that apple cider vinegar smells good. We're going to wait for that action to slow down a little bit. When it gets to about 10 minutes, we'll take it out. Alright, here we go. Pull it out. Man, that's dark. So other side we have this, didn't seem to want to get right there. Let's just go ahead and wipe it down. Started noticing that a little bit earlier, so not sure why that discolored a little bit. We may go one more time. Okay, I went ahead and did it one more time, and one of the reasons why there was some discoloration on this side, I think a little bit of oil may have gotten on that, so I cleaned it with some isopropyl alcohol and redid it, and it seemed to fill that in pretty much. This is in the raw. I'm going to add a little bit of oil to it, which you'll need to do just like, almost like parkerizing. The old finish that the military has put on their guns during World War II and beyond. But you still need to add a little bit of lubrication. This is really going to help protect it. Now, even though this was a stainless steel, you can see the brightness. Actually, this one had more of a reflective property, and but it really looks good now. So if you're really wanting to protect your knives, plus add just a kind of a cool finish, I think that the apple cider vinegar is a great way to go. It's cheap, it's easy to do, and makes your knife look pretty cool. And that's what it's all about. There are a number of different ways to do this patina finish on your knife. This just happens to be the one that I was really wanting to try. One thing I want to warn you about, though, is there's a number of Moras that are stainless steel, and they will not take this finish like the carbon steel. Plus, you don't really need it unless you just want to darken the color. And these are available at goinggear.com, a great source. I get a lot of things from those guys, and Marshall's a good friend of mine. I've picked a couple of these up while I've been down there, and so I've been pretty excited about doing this review. You do get a 10% discount when ordering at Going Gear, plus orders over $49 of free shipping. So great source for a lot of different stuff. Next we're doing some sheath mods to the Mora knives. So that'll be coming up, and we also have a couple other projects. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. When you check out, and any orders over $49 are free shipping.
Say hello to my little friend.